we create new rules. You know what I mean? I mean, that was what the segment was really called, New Rules.
Oh,
but,
New Rules.
That's a Bill Maher.
And that's why I didn't do it. That's why I said new segment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why I did the new segment. You said you new segment again, or?
Yeah, but let's...
Don't.
I'll do it different. I'll do it different.
Brainstorm?
I'll just do it. No, just do it. I'll just do it.
No.
All right.
All right, let's get back on track.
No, so here's what I want to do now, okay? Sorry, my bad. New rules. New rules. How from now on, this is how we're going to move forward, okay? Can we do that now?
You can have your rules of how you're going to move forward, but I have my own stipulations too. But
That's all right. I'm not the ruler of this thing.
Yeah.
Kind of am. But I kind of am. But, you know, here's what I want to do moving forward. Okay? I'm going to look you in the eyes when I say this, okay? I would never slander you, attack you, or in any shape or form online or to my friends or on podcasts, right? You know, you and I have, our relationship has changed from this
100%.
experience.
Yeah,
it's going to take me I don't know how long, right? So there's some engagements that I know I'm going to run into you, you know what I mean? That's in the near future.
I think we feel the same. I don't feel safe. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
don't
around
feel,
Bobby?
No, well, it's not even, I don't feel good.
Yeah, I don't feel good either.
I don't feel
Oh, that's why we're doing this.
We probably have that feeling in common.
We have that same feeling.
I
don't feel good either.
pretty
When you
cruddy
called me on
myself.
Saturday right before I got on stage, can be the worst time to do it.
Yeah.
Not your fault. You have no idea.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, I'm about to go on. What's up? And you're like, I heard this. I was like, I want to die. I'll see you later.
yeah.
But when you told me that, I know that feeling. And I was like, holy shit. I am so sorry you feel that way.
I'm also going to
I feel that
co-sign
way.
what he said, which is, I hardly know you. I'm very much a very simple, boring person. I like to free dive in the ocean. I like to hang out with my dogs.
not boring.
I certainly don't spend my days in a dark dungeon typing away things about you. I would never want to intentionally hurt anybody. I don't even do that to people I dislike. I just don't do that, Brendan.
Yeah, I think it was the perfect storm, which is why I got so upset with the trash talking on your other podcasts, and then this.
Did you
team
feel
tells
like we
me
were
this.
coming for you? Is that what you felt like? Oh fuck! Like
No, I
are
don't
they
think
trying
you were
to
coming
get
for me. I just literally was like, oh, because I don't do that at all. I'm like, I don't get it. Why the? I don't.
Okay, guys,
Why would they do
we're
that?
doing. This is the new segment. So,
Well, I was just telling the like.
but I made the announcement.
Train of thought,
I went.
yeah.
I did that whole
Yeah.
thing, right? So my point is that you know I don't want to revert back to the hour chunk that we did.
Yeah.
I want to go more into a positive, you know what I mean, direction.
do.
Okay. So let me finish what I'm saying.
Yes.
Okay. So that being said, it's, you know, I don't feel safe as well, you know what I mean? But I want to tell you that, you know, in terms of you as a comedian or in terms of you as a podcaster, I have all the respect in the world. I think that, you know, and I say this to Theo sometimes too, you know, he went from reality show MTV to becoming a real credible comedy entity, and I feel the same about you. So, and that's how I'll always feel.
And that means the world.
Okay,
The
so-
world, because I think you're one of the best comics in the world,
Okay,
Bobby.
all right.
Always
so,
have.
so when it comes to that, you know, I'm just telling you, whatever you hear, right? I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? I'm not.
Play Stardew Valley.
I play
like
Stardew Valley 12 hours a day. You know what I mean? I don't, and I watch Dodo like in the squirrels when they.
Is that a video game? that you
No,
play 12
Yes.
hours?
Stardew Valley is right here.
Video
But
game.
did you turn off my thing? Because I don't want to restart the day. Okay, good. Thank you. Anyway, I was playing earlier. My point. So from now.
This is his first day.
yeah.
The show's usually
Yeah.
fun, man. I
Right.
promise the job gets better. It's only up from here, Bubba.
And I also want to. I also want to address the fans, and there's because obviously we both have similar fans, but we have fans. I mean, that only listen to your podcast, and we have fans that only listen to Bad Friends and Tiger Belly, and so on and so forth. Right? There is no war, right? There are no sides to this, right?
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, that's why I just want everyone to, calm down online, right? And that's why we're doing this, is so that we can all kind of, and there is just last thing I want to say is, even hearing you talk now, there is empathy that I have. You know what I mean?
1,000%.
1,000 times, right? I feel bad. Okay?
Squeeze
I
it
feel
out.
bad. What? No. About it. Okay? But you handle it wrong. That's fine. I'll let it go.
And I own that. And I apologize,
Right.
Bobby. I did not handle this correctly.
So from now on, and I don't want to be here again.
Me neither.
I don't want to do this again. I don't want to talk about it again. I need to move on. I need her to heal. I need her to get happy and free. Okay? And I can't live like this.
Me neither.
Okay? And you can't either, and that's why I have empathy for you. So that's my 2 cents.
So how do we do that, Bobby? How do we get there?
Well,
What do we do?
Well,
Kalila's probably the smartest in the room. What do we do, Kalila?
no. Well, she's going to say what she's going to do, and I don't know what she's going to do.
I don't know what she's
we
gonna
did. We never talked about what. That's what I want to do, because I also want to be able to go to the Laugh Factory and see you, and do, if I'm after you at a club, still be able to do the show and bring you up on stage and work together in a professional way, in that way, right?
100%.
Right. In terms of Brian, I don't know.
Bobby,
So
and Brian told me to tell you this message. I can't tell you enough. And you're see I'm firing the kid. He is so sorry.
It doesn't matter. What he
I'm
said was
just telling you. I know.
insane.
And he admitted that.
Insane.
He's like, I agree.
Yeah.
He was level 10.
I mean, it was insane.
He was level 10.
I mean, just thinking about it makes me tremble. All right, so
And we talked about him fight. He's done that to me once over the 12 years I've known. He's done it to me once. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot.
it was a lot. It was like
We covered it. It's a lot.
all right.
He
All
apologized.
right, so that's all right. That's
He feels terrible.
Did you see? I went into a fucking
You
wind
went
tunnel.
into a rain
I went into a wind tunnel. I went into myself.
Your eye was twitching.
Yeah. So, it was a lot, and even you, because I remember even at times when in the call you were like, "Whoa, Bri."
Yeah.
Like when he says that,
Yeah, I was like, God damn, dude.
yeah, goddamn, dude. So,
It was a
that's
lot. Yeah.
That's my.
And he apologized.
That's
for
my
it, though.
2 cents.
And I know it's going to take time, and I don't know if you ever get there, but Brian, I know for a fact, I know Brian better than anybody on this planet. He loves you, man. And he fucked up royally. You don't have to say anything. I'm just telling you how Brian
Okay.
feels.
So that's what I'm gonna do.
That's a fucked up kind of love, Brendan.
Yeah, that's
Holy
what I'm gonna do.
No,
I come from a long line of murderers and violent offenders.
Murderers?
And they don't talk to me like that.
Murders?
Oh, yeah. My
yeah.
uncles are
True.
not good people.
So now I want to now this is what we're doing, where we're talking about the future, all right? I don't want to go to the past.
Right.
All right.
I'm willing to.
So yeah. So what are you gonna do from now on, from this moment forward?
I don't need a apology from you. I don't need apologies from you guys. I don't need an apology from either of you. I think you should look into the information I'll give to you after this and do whatever you want with it.
Yeah. And you know what? Guess what, Brendan? If there is any wrongdoing on any part of my company,
True.
You not only will you be the first to know, it could possibly mend all of this.
Yeah.
I believe so.
I want you.
If someone in our company, you can fuck me, bro.
Physically.
You can physically fuck me, dude.
Now I kind of hope it. I hope it's you guys.
Fuck,
You can do what that Down syndrome guy did to me.
fuck him for a lollipop
whole
Sunday.
So summer.
People still come up to
Yeah,
me
that
and
was
go,
a great clip,
dude.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. We had, you know what I mean?
No, you're one of the best guests we've ever had.
Yeah.
Man.
So,
But listen, if you heard, just put yourself in my shoes, right? That anyone you knew and you heard that they went to Rogan and said that you were a thief, a gold digger, and that you were responsible for criminal behavior on Reddit, things like that, would you like that?
No.
And how would you handle that?
I would now I'd call you direct. I'd call you direct and be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Kalaya, I know you don't know me. That did not happen.
Okay.
okay.
I don't believe you, but thank you for attempting to make me believe.
That's all I can do. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah.
So let's go for a path forward. Is there a path forward or no? Aside from that, like, in terms of what we do.
Look, at the end of the day, I appreciate you being here. I know it's difficult to do
It
all
had
of
to be
this.
done, though. It had to be done.
And I do appreciate you taking ownership for how poorly you dealt with it. This started in January 25. January 26, it would have been done.
Agree.
And I think that's the biggest lesson here is that.
For me, it's not, Kalila.
What's the biggest lesson here?
The lesson is the way it was handled, right? I should have went directly to you, but we didn't know each other. The lesson should have been, deal with it direct. But for me, like for you guys, it ends, right? For me, I got to get with this Reddit shit with the Tiger Belly email.
Mm-hmm.
If we get done with this, I show it to you, and you're like, it's actually this, and this, or that's not our email, whatever it is. Because the account, once I notified that it was happening, stopped posting, changed the email.
Can you say what the email was?
Sure.
Just on air. Just if I want to make sure it's our email, unless it's like
What is our email?
it's,
Well, let's just see what he says.
Well, he had sent me a screenshot of it.
Start signing up with that email and trying to hack it.
Yeah.
It's not say that
Yeah, you're
Oh,
right.
yeah, well,
I'll just
wait.
show you all of it after.
Oh, yeah.
Hadley.
Okay.
So, and then
It
you
doesn't stop for, what I'm saying, but
you deny then that you felt under attack by the girls and that you had to double down and create this Reddit drama. Like you deny that.
I swear on my kids.
Okay. So
I swear on my kids that's not
you're insisting that's two separate things and not
Correct.
tied, not associated to
in
one
any
another.
facet.
That it wasn't a way to retaliate
No, I
against us.
swear on my kids.
That
There's
it
nothing
just so happens that 5 days after the live show, there are Reddit accusations about me.
I swear on my life.
Okay.
It's very, I agree. Very convenient, very mysterious.
Mysterious.
Agree.
Okay. My path forward.
I'm
yeah.
telling you, there's nothing I love more on this planet than my kids.
Okay.
I swear on my kids' lives
Okay.
that this team
Yeah.
brought up the Tiger Belly email.
Okay.
Okay.
I just love that you keep talking about a team and nothing has been produced.
Well,
I've
but-
I've not
But
seen
he
it.
has it right
But I
there.
have it
We're
right
gonna see
here.
it.
You're going to see
Allegedly.
it.
We're gonna see it, and then once we see it,
No, Clyde,
Okay,
it's
hold
not,
on
it's
one
not
second.
allegedly. I'm going to show you soon as we get off air.
It's a little unfair though. We don't want to talk about this again, but okay.
this is what we can do.
Okay.
Okay. We can look at it, right? And when he leaves, if you want to come back on and talk about what
Comment.
we saw, then we can do that.
Are you okay with that?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends how you go about it.
No, the way I'm going to go about it is, if there's levity to it, and there is something that we need to investigate, we'll talk about that. You know what I mean? At this point, it's like, because like this, I don't know how it works, but I'm pretty sure that somebody could create an email with the name Tiger Belly, but be different than
Not with the
ours.
official email.
But all of you guys sound just like boomers who don't know anything about Reddit. That's what you, Callan, and Shab sound like. You guys are fucking Reddit. You don't even know how it works. I don't either, but at least I'm not claiming to be.
Yeah.
I'm not claiming
yeah.
to fucking know.
So regardless
I
of
don't
what it
think
is,
you can sign up with a certified email. That's where it gets weird.
a certified.
Like nobody could use my actual email.
George,
for
your
it.
input?
I'll say this: we had to do a kind of an internal investigation with our email. So there's only 3 people that had this email. So all of us went into the actual account to search our email, which is, I want to say it, but to see if there was a Reddit account made with that email, and there was no email. So we contacted Reddit. Reddit has some kind of, George, you want to say what Reddit said?
You just put in your email to see if there's an email, if there's an account with that email.
Associated.
Associated, and yeah,
There was
nothing
none.
came back.
Nothing
so
associated.
that's
nothing came back.
For our email, I don't know what email the team found. but
what
for
you
our
found,
email.
but in our email, that's what we found. So my point is that.
Well, and to use your words.
But no. But I want to say
I'm
is
curious,
that.
though, yeah.
But like I said, when I say that we have a path forward, right? All these things that I just said about, I want to end this thing. So even if we read it and we come back on, I'm not gonna do anything that's gonna poke and you know what I mean.
This is my thing.
Yeah,
Even if you guys see it, however you feel about it, I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm
I'm done.
done with it. It's over.
Okay. That's a relief.
No matter how you guys feel.
That's a
I'm
relief.
out, man.
Okay.
I appreciate you guys even having me on.
Mm-hmm.
Won't say it. I mean, if I say something nice about you, is that all right? I don't know what you guys terms you want to do. I don't know.
Dude, I'm just listen. I don't want to get a phone call at 3 a.m. from you accusing me of shit. I don't want to hear that. You know what I mean,
Bobby? Prior to this,
yeah.
do you have any recollection of me ever doing anything to you ever? When you were struggling, I found out from your brother. Did I not text you? Go, hey man, you need anything, Bobby?
Yeah,
Let me know.
and that's
Have I always been-
that's why this whole thing has been so baffling.
That's how hurt I am.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
You know, so here's the deal, okay? It's done, at least for me. I don't know, Kalila, you have to process it the way you want to process it. And
I think that for you and I, it's definitely going to take some time because I still feel a big mistrust. But I also think we have each other's numbers and there is a direct line.
And I'll say same. I feel mistrust, and there's clearly some negativity between us. But you have my utmost respect.
Thank you.
I think you're such a beast.
Thank you.
You're a savage.
Okay. Anyway,
Any tour dates or Big Poppy Gringo?
well, no, you're special. When you're special,
Why are we?
I want to plug your special.
Oh my
Just
I
the
wanna
saddest pod of all time.
I want to plug your
Hey,
special.
go watch my special.
Everyone watch.
Go see me in Philadelphia next week.
Next weekend, Philadelphia, Helium?
Yeah.
At the Philadelphia, Mark Harmon, what's his name? The owner, Mark.
Mark.
Cute. What?
No.
No, the owner
Oh,
of
they said
Helium's
Mark
Mark
Cuban.
something.
Yeah. Great guy.
We don't have to promote my
Yeah. No, he's going to be at the Philly Helium. Check out his special. And I say Tiger, but like Fighter the Kid, and King Stings Wings.
And make sure you get your Thick Boy merch.
Thick Boy merch. Okay, give him a
Wait,
run.
I have one more
Or don't.
question.
Oh God, babe, we're fucking
don't.
out of
I
this.
have no.
thing.
I have one more question.
Oh, my God.
Just because.
Gotta go
Don't
poo.
you ever feel this do you ever think that maybe it would be a good idea to lean into the Reddit stuff and start selling truck merch?
No.
Okay, that's all. That was my.
Let's
question.
land the plane.
Again, Kalila, I think if I got like if it was normal, like I said, criticism and hate,
Yeah.
that's what we sign up for being
Right.
public figures. When it crosses over to this evil, toxic stuff, there's no more fun in it for me.
The killing cat stuff. Yeah, no, I get it. It's a dark place, Reddit. I agree. I empathize with you. Thank you so much for doing this.
Can I just say one last thing? Then I don't want to.
Is it a new
I don't want to land a
segment, or
plane.
what is this?
It's just a thought that I've always had. Right? Brendan might not be your cup of tea, but he did do something that was difficult. Now, if you're envious in any kind of way, or you're like, why him? And you know what I mean? He doesn't make me laugh, whatever. It's like, then you do it.
Or just change the station.
Or switch to something else, or
this isn't North
or improve
Korea.
your life. You know what I mean, or whatever.
It's
just
not
like
North Korea. No one's forcing you to watch my
But
special.
anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Well, I love you, man.
I wish I could.
I don't think he's there yet.
I wish I could. You know what I mean? But give him a round of applause. It was brave of you to come.
Context to that call.
Yeah, please.
And we definitely, I'll admit straight up, we definitely didn't handle that the way two adults should have handled that. The context behind that is I never talk about this stuff ever. Our podcast is usually fun. We don't talk about the negative stuff that I deal with. Brian wasn't aware of the negativity that I deal with. Everybody gets stuff on Reddit. Everybody in this room, I don't know if you guys do. You guys do for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure Kalila does.
We all do.
Being a woman in this space. So there's a difference between hate and then straight evil, toxic, criminal behavior. And for 6 years, I've dealt with this. Now, if you want to criticize my comedy, the podcast, so be it. That's the internet. That's what we sign up for. But when it crosses over into harassment of my family, death threats, my kids, going for sponsors, companies that I work with, my business, that's where it gets dicey. So it would have to get so dicey to the point where my team gets notified on this, because I'm not on social media, and or sure as hell not on Reddit or any of these forums. And the reason I'm not on there, it's not because I think I'm better than social media. I don't need it. Of course I need it. I'm a comic. I'm not on it because it hurts my feelings. Because I can't handle that stuff. I don't do well with it. It was so toxic, I got out.
You're entrusting a team to report back to you. And when you hear from that team, you're receiving it as gospel. This must be accurate information that I'm receiving from them.
These guys, yes. So this is how we get here. Good question. Yeah. So this is how we get here. So hate, I understand. There's a lot to hate on. But again, when it crosses over into criminal and this other stuff, and they get notified because a member of that group is abusing a 6-year-old child with autism, and then the Reddit moderator gets affected, and they start talking. So then they look into it. And that's how we get here. And they look into it, and they go, hey, let you know, one of the 6 accounts that has done most of the posting is associated with Tiger Belly. Now, with all the toxic hate, everything that I get, this awful stuff, I expect that from people I don't know. When I found out it was somebody that I know, and that's where the aggressiveness came from.
But is it true?
That's why I'm here.
I think this is not helpful because this happened a week and a half ago, when in fact this drama, if we're going to talk about context, started in January. And I think while I really appreciate you being here, I truly believe you're a guy who cares for his family. I do believe you feel you're on the back foot here, and you feel like your livelihood is under attack. I understand the hurt all around that.
Appreciate it.
But there is a lot more context to what you guys are talking about, which is that phone call that happened a week and a half ago. And if it's okay with you, because I don't want there to be any confusion moving forward, I'd like to start from the very beginning and just get to the God honest truth. Because if we don't do this in a systematic way of when it started and how did we end up here.
The start with when I was notified of the Reddit group?
No.
Where do you want to start?
No.
To start with the Trash Tuesday podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. Because, I mean...
But here's where it gets conflicted is those are almost two separate things.
It certainly didn't feel that way.
And I understand that, and I respect you, and we can talk about this so we get to the end of it. When it goes to the Reddit group, that's where that call came from. And then this stuff that we're talking about with Trash Tuesday, and if I had a time machine and I could go back, I would have called. The reason we're here is because I didn't handle this well. And I'll say this right now, and I'll get back to that Trash Tuesday stuff. Let's say, and I'm not saying this in any facet, I truly believe neither of you have anything to do with this Reddit group. Maybe someone on your team had, or
No.
Hold on, I'm just telling you from my
Okay,
perspective.
okay.
Yeah, and you can too.
Because
You
my
can
team
too.
is here, and
that's fine.
This is everybody in the...
This is my family.
Yeah.
So if you're coming to me saying you're not responsible, but your team is, you're coming for my family. I've been with these guys for 8 years.
I'm with you, Clyde. I'm with you, and I would love for you guys to explain it. And that is why I'm here. And that is why I'm here.
Okay, but
And that's why I'm here. So,
wait.
go ahead.
Okay, so let's. You have your own timeline in your head of how this went down, and I have my own timeline. And while I want to believe those two things are separate, the timing is very suspicious to me.
But it's... I also... Could I just interject real quick? All right. They're not separate to me because, during the conversation, right, when you guys called me, you and Brian, right, the Trash Tuesday thing did come up in that.
Because why did it come? You and I talked about that stuff before all this, though, Bobby.
I
That's
don't
right.
want to get into the weeds. Can I just present a timeline? So I don't want there to be confusion. If we're really here to talk about the truth, I'd like the opportunity to just start from the beginning.
Please do.
And
Whatever you guys want to do.
if at any point you feel what I'm saying is truly unfair and unjustified, you can interject and say, Kalila, let me clarify on that. But I have written it down. This is something that has taken so much of my mental
Agreed.
space and clarity, and I don't want to live like this,
Me
Brendan.
neither.
So-
And I know you don't. And again, if I can go back and finish this thought, is when if I had a time machine, could go back, I would have called you directly.
Thank you for saying
Because
that.
you and I don't know each other well at all.
don't at
Any
all.
facet. And when I came to you, and I'll tell you this right now, anybody out there, if you're gonna go at Kalila, you better be ready to go. You are not to be underestimated. You're very fucking smart, and dude, and I told you this when we talked.
Yeah.
I said you should be a lawyer. Yeah, as good as you are on podcast, you should be a goddamn lawyer. That being said, if I could redo it, I would have called you direct, and this would have been solved so easily. Also, with the other information I had, I don't want to get in the weeds. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. With other information I had from a person we all know in here, I don't know him that well, and I don't know you that well, and that information coming at me at the same time that the Trash Tuesday and all this stuff coming, it was like this perfect whirlwind.
Right.
But if I would have talked to you before and you gave me the context, I went, that makes so much sense.
Right. We'll get to that
doesn't help.
part where that information is then weaponized against me to people like Rogan and Whitney
Mm-hmm.
and Schultz and people that are very influential in the podcast space. And the
Which wasn't fair to you,
the
Colette.
character assassination that took place, that I think you underestimated how much information was actually going to get back to me from these people. But again, I really just want to take just 10 minutes
Go ahead.
Yep.
to offer a timeline. And if this doesn't work, it doesn't work. I just really just want to have a moment of fucking clarity in all of this. I also want to add that in therapy, in every session, I hear
Better
a
help.
part of you is not the total of you. And I do believe you're a great father who loves his family, and you have regular human feelings that get triggered. You have fears, you have all of these things. So I do offer empathy in that way. So in, I wish I was funnier and I could like offer levity, but I just don't. I feel like shit about it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So here's what I have. And you know hearsay and rumors are super damaging, and I just want to put that all to rest.
Please do.
Even this, Brendan, I would have loved to do privately.
Me,
Okay.
100%.
Right. When we showed up to H3 podcast,
That hurt my feelings.
yeah, it hurt mine as well.
But we'll get there.
We'll get there. So when I showed up to H3 podcast, this wasn't even in our world. It wasn't in our view, our mind. You know what I mean?
And I don't know him, and I have no ill will towards
Right,
him.
right.
I don't know him, but from my understanding from talking to mutual friends of ours, that's what he does, right?
Yeah, but
He
we
does-
had
he
done the
deals with that
podcast.
drama
Yeah, but we
stuff?
had done that podcast many times before. He's done ours. Him and his wife, Hila, and
They're lovely.
They're lovely, and
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, as
again, I
people,
don't
they're
know-
lovely.
I don't know them.
You know, and you know, it wasn't in our, you know, and even on the drive back from there, we were in a state of shock because, you know, I'm not one to, you know, air my dirty laundry on air. Okay. And it was a private matter. And once he brought it up, there was just no way to get out of it. I tried, you know what I mean? I was a thinking machine. I mean, it was just like spinning, right?
In honesty, I didn't try that hard.
Yeah, yeah. I know
I
she
was
did.
willing to
And-
talk.
and-
And, I'll tell you why.
And,
was
and I
willing to
believe you
talk.
guys. And the same thing with Schultz when he goes, "Hey, I want to bring up the hate." I didn't know he's going to bring up this so particular issue with us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I said nothing but complimentary things. I wanted to move on, which we did. You know.
Okay, we'll
Yeah.
get to that
okay.
too.
So, just one last thing is that, so, you know, we said things that I was going to die to the grave with. You know, my relationship with H3 is my own private matter. You know what I mean?
I didn't see it, but I heard completely that you guys were caught off guard.
And also, you know, I'm just responding to the things that I've read online saying that why did you do it in the first place? And you have to understand that I had done it before, and it was never like that. I mean, they had done ours, and
I'd like to defend Ethan and Eli
You can.
here in
I
saying
love
that,
them.
you know,
But who's
they
attacking them?
They asked the question, and I don't know about you. Maybe that's how you felt. I don't want to invalidate your feelings on it, but I was okay to talk about it.
I know
And I'll
you
get
were.
to why I was okay to talk
Okay.
about it. All right. Are we sure we have 10 minutes? And undivided attention?
All right,
Yeah.
timeline start.
Timeline. Let me do a song.
Let's
Yeah.
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 I was like, oh, okay, he's right around the bend from drinking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you decide I'm going to smoke weed and do it right away? Was there.
Okay, this is what happened. I'm going to be honest with you. And I've really talked about exactly what happened. And it's not anyone's fault, okay? So I hadn't been to a meeting in 5 years.
He was a dry drunk for sure.
Completely dry.
Wow.
No, not
That's
five.
crazy.
I would say
Maybe
like three.
I would go like once or twice a year, right? To give somebody cake or something like that.
I feel like it's not a question of fault. It's a question of cause and effect. You know, if you leave,
Oh, I don't like the way you're talking to me right now.
if you leave
What
milk,
are you, a Vulcan? What the fuck are you talking about?
if you leave milk outside the fridge, it's gonna go rotten.
All right! All right! I fucked it up.
Yeah, I mean, the alcoholic is like the
I know,
refrigerator.
man.
It's got to stay plugged in.
I know, man. So what happened was I was doing
The steps in reverse.
so before my dad died, I was doing a Sam Tripoli show. And you know how all those weed companies support a show? So in the back, I was sitting in the green room. You've been in the main room, right? In the green room. And they had that bar where they had all this display of CBD products. And one guy was there was like, dude, it's for free. You're a performer. And I go, yeah, but I'm sober. I'm a sober guy. He's like, but CBD's not relapse.
Oh.
So I go, all right, well, I guess not. What is that? It's like, it's an oil, and it's at 18-1. So what does the 1 mean?
It's the CBD to
Exactly.
THC ratio.
Right. So I go. He
'Cause-
goes, dude, you're not going to be able to feel the THC. It's way too minimal.
Oh, so that's how it started.
Yes. So I dropped that,
You dropped it in what?
and then I kept dropping it
In your eye or your mouth?
in my mouth,
Ah, okay.
and it was so much oil that I would drink, half a bottle, that it fucking killed my stomach.
Yeah.
Right? But then I would get buzzed. So then I had that guy's number. So I called him. I go, do you have 8-1? So they would ship me 8-1.
And I would keep throwing them away
would
because
throw one.
I already knew what he was up to. And I
Right.
even called your brother and I was like, he's trying to get away with some shit right now with CBD products. And I know CBD is totally fine.
Right.
And I even asked your brother, and your brother's like, oh, I think it's cool. I think that we're still okay.
So it got to the point where I was doing 1-on-1.
So
Right.
at that
Yeah.
point,
But I would still do half a bottle, right? But in my head, I'm like, this is not relapse. I'd be at the spa, just completely high in my mind, right? And then when my dad died, when my mom goes, Papi, Daddy in hospice, he's gonna die right now. And my brother and I was gonna pick my brother up. In my head, I had known that I had already relapsed, right?
right.
And so then I went right to a weed dispensary and I got a bunch of gummies so I can hide it from my brother, right? And oils and all the stuff that you're not, none of the smoking substances, and some vapes as well. So I could hide it. And so then I fully relapsed. But then I don't know if I was sober. When I got sober again, I saw Sam Tripoli at the parking lot. At
You
the
weren't
Comedy Store.
sober yet.
I wasn't sober yet.
Yeah, but
I had already relapsed. I was at the Comedy Store. I saw Sam Tripoli's car, and I rammed my car into his car. They have it on tape.
Why?
Because I think that I blame him for my relapse.
You associated
yeah?
doing
I
the show.
associated
I understand.
right where I got the CBD
Okay.
product. If I hadn't done a show in my mind, that I wouldn't be in this insanity that I was in, right? And then one day, I couldn't eat or sleep, and I
So you weren't able to see your part.
Basically.
Vulcan guys, fucking Vulcan.
fucking. You're right.
I mean,
It's my fault.
that's addict shit.
I know.
You that's
I know
addict
that.
shit where it's
You're
everybody
exactly right.
else's fault.
But actually, I did that, and then I went to this place to deal with my dad's trauma about his abuse and whatever. And in that place I went, it was in Arizona. I had a spiritual awakening, and I got sober again. And I have almost 10 months now.
Good, man.
Go to meetings all the time, Zoom. I have a sponsor. And I'm never going to not go and not be in the
That's
middle.
ticket.
Because twice that happened for me.
Yeah.
I got long-term sobriety. I stopped going to meetings, and I went out.
Well, that's the story of every relapse, basically. You know, you ask somebody what happened. I stopped going to meetings.
Yeah.
That's like the number. You know,
Yeah.
that's what.
Now back to you, Steve.
right.
Fuck you. All right? Back to you, you fucking guy.
Well, before you got into the room, we were talking about what a shitty texter backer you are.
Do you remember?
Who, me?
Yeah. You're
Wait. You were saying it?
We were
Yeah.
talking about it.
You're bad at texting. There's like so many times where I had sent you a text, and you just didn't respond. And then, do you remember the time when I was like, "Hey, man," I sent you a text that said, "Hey, if there's something that I have done to offend you, can you please let me know what it is?
Yeah.
You know, otherwise I'm just gonna stop trying to communicate with you because like I've, you know."
And then did I text you back on that
And
one?
you were like, "No, come on, dude, it's crazy. Like, of course you haven't done it. I love you, dude."
Yeah, Steve. Okay, Steve. Fucking listen to me, man. All right?
Yeah.
You're one of my favorite people on planet Earth.
Oh, dude. Well, I love you.
No, honestly, you are.
Well, thank you,
Okay?
man.
And everyone has a problem. David Spade, same thing when he came on here a couple of weeks ago. You don't text back. You know, everyone says that about me. And literally, I'm trying to do it now. I'm literally trying to do it because I know it's a character defect. I'm fucking going to try to do it. The thing is,
He made a really good point.
What was it?
earlier.
What is it?
He said, no response is a response.
Yeah.
oh, it's not. That's fucking bullshit.
No.
No, that's fucking bullshit. No. Fuck you. No response. No response. I know what you're saying with that.
No response is absolutely a response. And
What is the response?
you don't fucking matter.
No, that's not. The
I don't
response.
fucking care.
That's not because that's if. Okay, if that's the response, then that's not how I feel. So that's not the response.
Okay, but if you send somebody,
That's you misinterpreting the respond as a response. Right? Right? So it's like if I don't respond to you, right? And you think to yourself, wow, no response. You know what I mean? Is a response. That's you saying that. You came up with that. Because on this end, it's like I didn't barely even read your text.
That's even worse.
That's worse.
Or no.
What are you doing right now, dude? What are you doing?
No, that's you. That's just everyone. Okay. All right. All right. No, just listen. All right.
so there's certain people who do matter enough for you to read their texts, and there's a lot of other people who don't.
No. I want to go down this lane with you, and we're gonna go down it. All right. But I'm gonna go down fighting. All right. So
The one thing in your corner is that I do believe that you would respect David Spade enough. So
yeah, exactly.
right.
Right. Well, it's not just that. It's everybody has come onto this podcast and said you don't text back. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not a personal thing. You know, it's just the way I behave.
I'm starting to believe that.
Okay, so that's number one. All right, that's two. That's number one. Okay, okay. And here's the thing: is let's go down this path. So, no response means that I don't. When somebody goes like, I hate small talk. All right, I hate small talk. So like somebody will text me and go, "Wow, man, it's really hot today." Right? I'm not gonna go, "Yeah, man, it's summer." Ha 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 ha.
Right.
So I just don't text back.
And they have a whole thing for people like you. It's the thumbs up thing. You go thumbs up, done.
You gotta answer.
So you should. Would that feel better if I liked your message?
Yeah, I mean, some kind of acknowledgement would be kind of cool.
All right. You know what?
You know, you're right, because say for instance,
sweating
I'm in a I'm thinking about the people that I care about in my life. And it doesn't matter how mundane or dumb or boring or whatever fucking stupid text they send me. I will never not text them back because I genuinely care about them.
Stop.
Right, that's why I personally fucking hate my birthday and holidays and stuff, because because my phone is just bam, 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 like all fucking day long. And for me, like, it's inconceivable to me that I would not respond.
Wait. You respond to all the happy birthday messages you get?
Yep. Yeah, like when somebody sends me a text, it's like, okay, like here's this person, and like, you know, or I'm not too cool for them. Like I'm gonna respond. So like when I get swamped by text, it's overwhelming for me, and I don't hate the people texting. I hate my fucking birthday for bringing all that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just defend my point one more time, okay? Okay. Let me go back to my thing, all right? So when Jordan Peele won his Oscar, right, I texted him, oh, man, I'm crying right now, dude. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you. He liked my text.
He hearted it.
He hearted it.
Yeah.
Right? In my head, I'm like, I'd rather him not respond.
What?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because in my head, it goes to, he probably, if I was Seth Meyers or Jimmy Fallon, it just in my twisted head,
Yeah.
he probably would write out the words. Thanks a lot, man. I worked hard, man, but this is a miracle, whatever.
Right.
But for me, it's like, it's in my head, and I'm sure that wasn't his intention. It probably wasn't, right? But in my head, I'm thinking, oh, fuck, Bobby, just fuck it. There you go. And just do that, you know, and move on. So I'd rather have him not respond, right?
Right. Okay.
Right. So it's like, in my thinking, but maybe I'm not looking at it as the victim's point of view.
I mean, it's
So from now on, you know what, dude? You just fucking swayed me. I am going to either respond with a like, a love, or a fucking smiley face or emoji or something.
Right.
It's either you want to build a relationship and sustain a friendship, or you don't.
I was about to give you a compliment too, Steve. I was about to give you a really
Throw
good,
it out anyways.
remember when I was mad at you?
Yes, of course I want to talk
Can we
about
talk about that? When I was mad at you.
What?
How mad?
Oh my God, he's
I would not. Oh, I wanted to end her. I wanted to end her
I
fucking
haven't
career.
begun-
Oh wait,
That's
was it
so
the
funny.
Chelsea thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I know this story.
Yeah.
I can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah. So I want to say this. All right. I literally had to think about, like, you know what I mean? Think about it before I even brought it up.
Yeah.
So it's so
It's been a-
far in the past that I don't even think about it. Right. And number two, I love you a lot.
Yeah, I
okay?
love you too.
I fucking hated you. All right. And I wanted you dead. And so we do the. I would like to hear your side of the story.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm oblivious, by the way, of him being mad at me. So we go into. I mean, now I know, obviously, because he screamed at me publicly in front of so many people.
Did I
was
really?
so
Did
shocked.
I really?
Yes, in
Yeah,
the hall of the Comedy Store. I was so surprised. I did not think you were mad at me. Okay, so doing Chelsea lately was the most stressful fucking bullshit. I mean, I've never been more nervous to do anything in my life because it was just very tense. Like, I get there. I've never met Chelsea before. I think I'd done it like 2 or 3 times by the time I did it with you.
Yeah.
But when I first did it, I didn't know Chelsea. I was flying in from New York to do it. They were like, don't look at her. Like, don't look her in the eye, but look near her. And don't like, and they're like, make sure you jump in, but don't interrupt Chelsea. And like all these things, like they had all these rules and it was very stressful. And I had not been on TV before. I was like,
Can I interject real quick?
Yeah.
I want to just add on.
Yeah.
May I?
Yeah,
okay.
of course.
The reason why it's stressful, okay, is that you shoot at 2:00 and you have to go to Universal City, right?
Right.
And sometimes at noon, they don't have the topics yet.
oh, it's so stressful.
Right? And then all of a sudden you get these topics, right? 5 things that have happened, right? And you have to quickly come up with 5 angles or jokes
On each topic.
on each topic, right?
Can I get a shout out?
Yeah.
Because the last 2 years you did Chelsea, he would not wake up until like 45 minutes before, and he would have Nick Youssef and I wake up really early,
Yeah.
just waiting for the fucking topic,
Yeah.
so we could write his jokes for him.
Yeah, right. So, all right.
Oh my God, the power dynamic.
But in a show like that, right? Like if you do David Spade's show, for instance, what's it called?
Lights out.
Lights Out, right?
Yeah.
You can say a joke and then you can turn to whoever and go, "Can I say that over again?"
right.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, take it as many times as you want," right? And they can just fill in the laughter,
Right.
right? But with Chelsea, you have to say it perfectly, or she'll rip you apart.
And she'll not ask you back. Like she'll be like,
Or she
done.
won't ask you back, or there's all these other things that are at play. So now you're there, right, in front of a gigantic studio audience. It's
So many people.
So many people. It's hundreds of people.
And by the way, always like a couple of my bank tellers and stuff, I always brought random people. If anyone recognize me from Chelsea, I'm like, do you want to come? You want a picture? They're like, we're good.
Yeah. And so you're there, and then here's another thing, is when you come up with your bits, sometimes this happens, right? You get a writer, and you have to pitch them the bits. And meanwhile, in 10 minutes, you're on air.
And they're doing you're not even a girl. The girl, I'm in full makeup. They're like, close your eyes. I'm like, I can't. They're like putting eyelashes. I'm like, I haven't written comics yet. They're like, are you ready? They're like, we're micing you. I'm like, no, you're not. You're not putting the mic on.
Right. So you're about to go out, and then somebody will come in the room and go, yeah, so and so's already doing that joke. But then you're being pulled onto the set. You go, what do I do then? What the fuck do I?
And then you're like, I would have it folded up. I would have my notes folded up.
Yeah.
Trying to like memorize. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god. And
Yeah.
you can't, like, I'm looking down.
Yeah.
They're like, don't look down. I'm like, but I have my notes are there.
Yeah. In fact, one time Chelsea wasn't there. Wanda Sykes was there. T.G. Miller and I are on the panel, right? And we remember going, like, she's there. They're about to go. And me and T.G. know Wanda Sykes. We turn to her and we go, what's up, Wanda? And she goes like this. And that gesture fucked me up.
Wait, why?
I go, I don't know what I'm doing now.
did she do that to you?
I don't know why.
Was she mimicking Chelsea?
I think maybe that's what she thought that the role was.
Chelsea would be so different with me every time I did it too. Like,
Yeah.
one time she would like because I didn't know her at all. It was so nice for her to put me on. I cannot believe she put me on the show.
Yeah.
And so I was like, we're walking down the hallway, and she's like, "Hey, girlie," and she would like tickle my stomach and be like, "Mama," like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this." Like, just little old me. I was like an open micer, like, "Thank you."
Yeah.
And then other times she'd walk down the hallway and she'd be like, I'm like,
Yeah.
was I invited here?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have to also say, though, that without it, in that chunk of my life, right, I wouldn't have had the numbers on the road.
It was amazing.
It was amazing.
amazing.
It changed my life, and we're grateful. We're just complaining about the stress.
It was just so stressful. The timing of it, because Chelsea at that point, I mean, I don't know how early you did it on. She was so kind of over. She didn't want to do more takes, which actually made the show hilarious.
Yeah.
Because she'd just be fumbling through the thing, like, whatever. And they just put the thing up. She called me Amy Lieberman like 5 times.
Yeah.
I think she might even call me Amy Schumer. I was like,
Or let's cut to now the day we do it.
okay, so there's all this stress and the okay, so I don't remember the topics or the jokes or anything, but I remember it didn't go well. Okay, I remember when we got off.
You can say that again. You can say.
Well, I figured out what it was when I watched it. I realized what I didn't realize about the way you were delivering the jokes, because I was always waiting for. You have to jump in. If you don't jump in, with you were famous. Okay, this was like all I had, so it was like so.
That's all I had too.
No, I agree with that. I'm not saying,
okay.
No. I just am trying to explain, like, I didn't have any, like,
I get what you're saying. Your perception,
on camera and
it's
stuff.
perception of me. Your perception of me, you know what I mean, is different than the perception I have of myself. And
Yeah.
maybe you're in your head. You're like, well, this guy was on a show before, right?
No, I didn't realize that you were okay. So when you delivered your jokes, you would tell the joke, possibly do an act out, and then you would look at the camera and you would hold a look. And that was like the laughs would it would kill, right? I didn't realize the look holding. So what I was doing was I was so obsessed with my own getting the jokes out. I would hear a pause when it was you were like continuing to deliver the joke, and I would think the joke was done. So then I would jump in to get the joke, but I was cutting your joke off.
Okay, can I say this?
Yeah.
Okay, that's correct,
Yeah.
right? But what I saw,
Was a fucking
no. What I saw was this. Okay, I would wait because I know that you were jumping the gun.
Yeah.
So I waited for you to do your joke first.
Yeah.
Right. You would do your joke first, right? And in my head, I'm like, okay, I got the two guys out of the way.
Right.
Right. Now it's my turn to do my joke.
Right.
You get one shot. Right. So halfway, the first time, right? I wasn't even able to tell my joke. Because
What
you
was the
said
joke?
you did your joke. I forgot who the other guest was.
Yeah, who was
And
it?
then it was my turn to talk, and you did a second joke.
I wish I had a joke to interrupt you with.
I know, but you had a
now,
second
but I
joke,
can't.
and then after your joke, Chelsea goes, "Okay, now we're going, commercial break." Right. So then now I know we have to go to the next topic, and so in that fucking chunk, I said nothing. Right. And so I turned to I turned to Michael Cox, and he comes up to me and goes, I know, I saw. Oh. And I go, what the fuck, bro?
Oh no.
That was my strongest
Ever
one.
heard.
That was my strongest one. Right? And he's like, I know, but you can't. You just deliver. Get out in the
my
first
God,
one.
Bobby,
You know what I mean?
this
In
is
the
so much
first,
better than I thought.
In the second half, just get your first joke out. Right? I know, but everyone thinks I'm a fucking retard because I didn't even fucking say anything. Right? So now.
You have an external locus of control.
Now we're
You can't
back to right.
Sorry.
So I go, okay, this bit is, I'm going to pause and do the punchline, right? Because the first one is obviously just a setup, right? So I do the setup, right? I do the pause. She goes right in. She goes right in, and I go, what? Right? No laugh from me.
you, yeah, your
Because I didn't see the punchline, right? She goes right in,
We're
right?
getting them now, at least.
And then the other comic does it, right? And then all of a sudden, commercial break. Michael comes up to me. Michael's sweating now, Cox, because he knows that like my eyeballs.
Why didn't he tell me?
What? Because we don't know. Because everything's moving so fast, right? Everything's
Yeah.
moving so fast, right? And now I'm whispering things like, I'm gonna kill her.
That's so. And I have no clue.
She has no idea. She has
I'm just like,
absolutely.
what's the next topic? I'm like, I hope I remember my jokes.
So then the third one, right, was the worst one, and this is not your fault.
I mean,
The third one's not your fault, right? So mind you, right, I'm on this whole show. I haven't said anything funny yet,
Just
and
premises.
I've been on camera for about 20 minutes. Yeah,
Just premise.
I'm just a guy that's just sitting there, right?
oh my God, the sinking feeling when the commercial break comes is really, it's like unmatched in life.
Yeah.
Like you don't, when you haven't gotten your joke out. Wow.
I'm literally also having thoughts like, maybe I could just, work at the store. You know what I mean? Like not just a doorman, but like, maybe promotions, right? Like I'm thinking
Your whole
like,
life is just-
my whole life is
Yeah.
flashing before my eyes,
Right.
right? And the third one, I'm about to tell a joke, and they do a thing where Chelsea just interrupts me and she goes, "Fortune Feimster." She's not even on the panel, right? I think Fortune Feimster comes out in like a lingerie or something and does a dance. It was a bit that like no one was told about,
So
right?
you even know.
So the whole show, I fucking ate it. And then I remember thinking to myself, I hate that girl, Annie. She's my number one enemy.
Wow.
I have a lot of enemies on the wall, right?
Yeah.
But like,
sure.
she's my number one. And then what did I say to you at the
Oh,
store?
and then like we get like, okay, so we get off stage and like, I know it didn't go great, but I'm like, whatever, I'm just sort of like, I don't like, at this point, I'm not feeling fully responsible. I'm like, we all kind of didn't have a good show, but I also didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah.
And then Cox was like, wow, that was a rough one. I was like, it was like, and then I was like, oh, like the lights got darker. And I was like, oh my God, we bomb. My parents are going to watch. This is terrible. And then, so when I see Bobby at the store later at night and I go, oh, that sucks. Like we didn't do good. And he was like, yeah, fucking did it. Like, and I was just kind of like, had no clue. Like, I just had no clue. I mean,
Right.
I just like am wild. There's no.
Because it was pinned. It was like, I had it just in my chest.
And everyone was like, I was like, Bobby, I'm so sorry. I would never. And you're like, you're supposed to make everyone look good. And I was like, I would never. And you're like, you are trying to make me look bad. And I was like, I would never try to make you look bad. I
Right.
swear. And it was like that kind of thing.
How long? Yeah. How long did it take for me to get back? Because I feel like,
To be friends again?
yeah, I feel like what you did was the right thing. You did the same thing Tiffany Haddish did.
What?
Tiffany Haddish, we've talked about on the show when she was here, that she betrayed me, right? And then there was a relentlessness on Tiffany Haddish's part to get me to like them again.
Do you think I did that?
I think you did. I think there were times, right, socially, right, that you.
I just didn't know you didn't like me ever, so I was just treating you regularly.
Oh, is that what it was?
I just thought you were
What it-
mad at me once.
Oh, in my head,
I was number one enemy.
No, in my head, I'm like, wow, she's crafty.
Really?
No, I'm not
She's probably
crafty.
thinking, right, we're all cool now. But in my head, I'm like, wow, she's saying hi to me and flicking my.
That's where the self-centeredness comes in. That's what I tell you. Like you have these hang-ups about you think people are thinking of you.
Right.
And they're not. Everyone's just moving about and doing their own shit.
Wait, were
Right.
you mad at me when we did the NBC thing?
What NBC thing?
Remember when we did Finesse Williams' NBC thing? Remember he was doing oh my God, this is how much you work, you piece of shit. This is how successful you are. We did a whole
Who's
taping.
Finesse Manager?
SNL.
I love him. No, I don't remember that. But
Okay,
what was
you were
it?
freaking out. You were like, because you have a thing where you're like, this is my last job. Every time you have a job, You were like,
I know.
You're like, oh, the execs are. Am I bombing? It's like, I
Yep.
mean,
Yeah.
the screaming, am I bombing? A little bit is bombing, kind of, but no.
Yeah.
I think you pulled your dick. I think you did get naked again, but it was like, it was one of those like they
Yeah.
showed us a video and we made jokes about the
Right.
animal video or something.
Because, but I'll tell you
I wonder if
why.
you were mad at me.
I'm only like that in jobs where it's like this wasn't a part of my dream, right? Panel shows were not a part of my dream. It's not my skill set.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I've always wanted to like I like acting and I like sketches and I like being big and controlling things. You know, and also showing my muscle, right? Doing panel shows. That's why the David.
Is that what you call your dick?
What?
Your muscle?
yeah. My muscle, right? That's a good one. But like, so the finesse thing, I don't remember it. But what happened?
You just were like freaking out, running around, clothes were coming off.
Yeah.
We're having a breakdown. You're like, oh my God, this is a big network. I'm like, Bobby, I think it's fine. You're probably going to get several more TV shows.
Yeah.
I think you're fine.
Yeah. But like, yeah.
When did you start liking me again? How recently?
It took a year.
Oh, okay.
That's
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took about a year and a half. I just remember forgetting,
Oh.
you know, and then seeing around. What I also like about it is observing you. I like to observe you around other comics to see if other. This is so gross. I
want to hear it.
I'm going to tell you, okay? But this is a gross part of my personality.
Ew.
And I know it's disgusting, right? But there's also I like to see people's trajectory. You know. Okay. Let me.
I remember
let me know.
watching you say on this podcast before. You were like, I like to know where I am power wise with people, and I was like, he's never thought I was close to him. That's what's so funny.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you brought me on stage once and you were like in the OR and you were like, wait, go back. Like you started to say my name until I started to come forward and you're like, no, go back. Why are you up here already? And I was like, oh, so I went back and they were like, you were like, why would you listen to me? Jesus, I was just fucking with you. Come up and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
They alphaed me so hard in front of everyone. I was like, oh,
I'm
hello,
sorry
audience.
No,
it was funny. I liked it.
Yeah, I'm
I think it's
sorry for
funny.
that, but
Don't apologize.
dude, I've always been like that, and I remember that's why when I started in San Diego, a lot of local people didn't like me. I feel like I am through time.
That's true.
It's
I
exciting.
feel like that with you too. I do.
Yeah.
And I am safe. I mean it.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty
Jessica
safe-
Kirsten, give her a round of applause. Yeah. Let me. You don't live. You live here now, right?
No, I live in New York.
You still there?
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
been out here a lot, though.
I mean, I've been out here. Yeah, I was here like 4 months ago or something. I can't live here unless if I had a job, I would live here. But I could never live here unless I had a job, like a job.
But when you do your podcast with Sarah, for instance, you do it here,
No, I do it in New York.
Is she
I have a podcast in New York.
and she flies there to do it, or
Yeah.
Oh, wow, wow.
Like people, I interview comics in New York, but I'm New York based because I have a wife and kids in New York.
Okay, I'm not accusing you of anything.
I know that's how I talk. It's Jewish in New York. It's like I'm screaming at someone all the time.
Yeah, because I've just seen you a lot here. That's all. That's why I'm saying it. You know.
I don't like the way you're talking to me.
This is the way I do it. You know what I mean? So you live in New York, but I have to say, you know, when I was using drugs again, right? I remember being really drunk and high, and I forgot I was in Hawaii or something.
Yeah.
And I curled up into a little ball, and I thought about the conversation you and I had before I went out at the Comedy Store behind that wall.
Yeah.
And we're leaning against that wall, and we were talking about weed and whatnot, you know what I mean, and how scary and this and that, right? But I don't know why, but like when I was doing drugs and alcohol again, I just thought about you and that conversation. I don't know why that popped in my head, but I remember like getting sober again, going, I wish I can see her again. You know what I mean? And tell her, but because I've seen you a couple of times this week.
Yeah.
I also love seeing you with Sarah, my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Do you know that we used to bang?
Yes. Mainly. Yeah. I know all about it.
Yeah. Does that seem weird to you visually?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I get why the two of you were together. You're both so brilliantly funny. I mean, I understand the connection.
Yeah, but just visually, it looks.
Yeah. I mean, I understand visually why it's fucking crazy.
Yeah. I mean, even like, you know, I had to like.
Be easy on that. don't be too descript.
Yeah.
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 So what I'm doing right now? What
Yeah,
is
what is this?
Yeah, what is this right now that's it's freaking you guys
You're
out?
doing a pull up. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying if she was on top, can I say that?
Yeah,
Right?
maybe.
Yeah.
Her shoulders were up here like this.
Yeah. She's a tall.
She's a tall girl.
very
That's all.
supermodel.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
long torso and,
Yeah.
and this. That's all.
And also, may I mention that when you went out, the amount of times that I called Sarah bawling my eyes out and her talking me off a ledge.
Yeah.
I mean, she really, really helped me out.
Yeah.
Talking you off a ledge?
Yes.
She's very supportive and so giving that way, and
She's a
she's
mensch.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
she's a
really
mensch.
is.
amazing
She really
person.
is. Heart, just a great heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a great heart too, even though it's like protected with a lot of thorns.
No, it's not. I'm too good a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I can really be too open and too loving and giving and get hurt a lot. I have to. I've actually been talking about that and thinking about that a lot. I need to be more protective of my heart. My therapist is like, you need to have a shield, and we need to create a shield. I'm like, what kind of fucking shield? Like,
Yeah.
do I have to carry around a shield like Roman times?
Yeah.
That sounds nuts, but I think I do have to create some kind of shield because I do let people in a little too much sometimes, and
Yeah, I mean-
I get coerced sometimes, and it's not good.
Yeah, you seem like you have a lot of empathy.
Yeah, I do.
But when you get angry, do you get angry?
I do,
Yeah.
but it takes a lot. I mean, I get angry on the street and people annoy me, but it takes a lot to really get me enraged if I'm close to someone. But once you cross that line, you're out. It takes a long time, but
How do you deal with rejection? Do you get really sad like I do?
I do, but I can get back up and keep going. I mean, I think that's the only way. If you're in this business, you have to. You wouldn't be in this business that long if you weren't able to get back up and keep going, right?
Yeah, but why do we do it?
Because we're miserable people. I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
have
because
to
when
be
you get back
fucking
up, you're like,
sick.
why am I getting back up? I should just lay down.
well, no, because we're sick. You have to be really fucking crazy to be in this business and keep going. We would not be in it this long unless we were out of our minds. Don't you agree?
But isn't the point, though, to get healthier and so we're not sick? And then, so what does that mean?
I mean, I think we keep getting healthy, but you can't. You have to be pretty not okay to stay in this business. Don't you agree?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like once you're really you can't get too healthy.
Yeah.
Who in this business is really healthy?
Yeah.
Don't
You're
you agree?
Yeah. Yeah, there's something in, like, I remember, like, last night I went at the Improv, and for some reason, the audience wasn't great, and I was just walking down the stairs, and I turned to a girl, and I go, am I out of my mind? What am I doing this for? You know what I mean? But that's, like, every time. Like, sometimes I'll be doing something. I'll be dancing on stage, or in a movie, I'm doing something, I'm like, am I out of my mind? This is stupid. You know what I mean? What am I doing this for? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, but why do you think we do it? Because we need it?
Well, I always say on stage, like, I think I need the attention and I need all that. But then after everyone's clapping and screaming, even if they stand up, I'm like, no matter what you do, it'll never fill the hole. Like, it'll never fill that hole.
Yeah.
That comes from Mom. That didn't happen. Like, she never held me enough. She wasn't around
That's
enough.
what
so,
it is.
Yeah. No matter what they do, that hole is deep and it'll never get filled.
Yeah.
And it'll never get filled by pills or pot or Coke or women or anything. So I don't know what will ever fill it, but I'm always looking for something to fill it.
I got holes to fill.
Yeah.
Don't say that around me.
She's got juicy holes to
I
fill.
know. Stop.
You know what I mean?
Juicy hole?
Yeah. You know what's funny? When
We went through this when I did her.
I don't know. So what you're saying to me is
Sorry, Jess. Sorry.
no. Listen, Jess. What I'm saying, and I'm totally cool with it. If your wife was okay with it,
Yeah.
right, and I was okay with it, right, just hear me out, right?
Yeah.
And I go ahead.
Yeah.
Would you?
What are you kidding?
You would?
That's like asking me if I want a bagel with cream cheese.
Yeah, but now
Of course, she's gorgeous.
Let me up the
That's
ante.
a
Can I up the ante?
Ridiculous question.
Up it.
What?
I'm going to up it, right?
Okay.
So what if that's the deal, right? But what if I said, but I get to masturbate?
Oh, I don't care about that.
In the
I think you would, because I'm going to be commentating. I'm
what
like,
would you
yeah,
say,
that's
though?
it, Jess.
Well, if you were
That's
like,
the
if you
one.
were-
You know what I mean?
you can't talk in German.
How would that go, Bobby?
I don't know. I don't know.
Get on the train. Hey, get on the train.
Get on the train. Get on the train. Get on the train. We're going to Auschwitz. yeah.
I put you on the ditch.
yeah.
No, I don't. I don't care if you were because I trust you and feel safe with you. But if it was a stranger, like some gross guy, I don't think I could do it.
Can I up the ante a little bit more?
Oh no.
Let me up one more level, right?
Oh no. Okay.
Why? All right.
No.
So what have we said? You can do this, right? But at the same time, I make love to your wife.
No.
Well, there he is.
Why?
There's the line.
Number one. I promise you this.
And she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So that's you're lucky. She's
they
not unattractive.
They called me 2 Pump Trump in high school.
Oh, it's only 2 in?
Yeah.
All
2
right.
pumps, I'm probably out. I'll be
Okay.
sleeping.
All right.
Honestly, just 11 and a half seconds max.
Yeah.
11
Something 12
I
seconds.
love
12
that
seconds.
it's
12 seconds.
11
Can I get 12 seconds? You don't have to cut that.
12 seconds
12.
of misery. That's it.
Yeah.
You
12 seconds
are
of misery.
12 seconds of misery is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just gonna be. I'm done.
All right.
Sleep.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's cool. Just in our fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Our swingers club is very. We cannot do anything outside of our circle with randos.
Yeah, we
because
can't.
it's just
Okay.
unsafe.
It's unsafe.
Yeah.
Can you wear a Julia Roberts like face mask?
But from what movie? Like conspiracy theory from that movie, or
Yeah,
or
that's
Pretty
fine.
Woman? Okay, yeah, all right. Back to something that I wanted to say is when I was in high school, well, not high school, when I was 20 years old, right? I met this guy named Mike Carano, and he was the manager of the Improv in Pacific Beach. This is probably in 1992, a long time ago. And I was working at a coffee shop, and I worked with this girl that was dating Mike Carano. Anyway, one night he goes, "Come down to the Improv," because I manage it. He managed it with Dave Becky. You know Dave Becky
Of
from
course.
3 Arts?
Yeah.
So I went there, and Bobcat Goldthwait was performing.
Yeah.
And I just mesmerized by him.
Yeah.
Right? And I remember him after the show, they said goodbye to him, and he signed autographs, took photos, whatever. And he got in a cab, and he drove away. And in my head, I'm like, he's going to some fucking amazing party. You know what I mean? He's going to be knee-deep in cocaine and pussy, right? But the reality is he went to a hotel and just sat on his bed sad. But the mystique of it, right? Like a lot of people probably look at us and go, right? They probably have these exciting lives and this and that. But really, at the end of the day, we're just like the guy that works at Wingstop. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Maybe even way more miserable.
Yeah, maybe more
Because he's
miserable.
going to Magic Mountain with his friends.
Yeah, he's gonna play video games and
Yeah.
have fun,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
laugh, and
Yeah. Have you just sat on a couch and just looked down on the ground and just?
Have I ever not?
Yeah. How much? Can I talk about how much sobriety you have?
Yeah, sure.
How much do you have?
Well, I had years, and then I went out during COVID. What I have a year and 7 months back.
Wow.
Completely off of everything.
Yeah.
I wasn't working a program. I started smoking pot. My dad passed away, unfortunately, a month into COVID, and I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't going to meetings. I wasn't reaching out.
Yeah.
And he had a very aggressive pancreatic cancer.
My God.
And thank you. And it was horrible because it was during COVID. So no, we're Jewish, so no shiva, just a wedding. I have a wedding. God, that's crazy. We had a wedding when he passed away.
Weird.
We had a huge Jewish wedding, and
Yeah,
everyone came with masks. No, and so 5 of us just standing there with masks on, just